Please go through the problem. What is given here? You are given with a soil profile, and you could see particularly that particular soil profile has got a 2-layered soil. The top layer is a sandy soil layer, the bottom layer is a clayey soil layer, and you are asked to calculate the settlement due to primary consolidation, which is happening in 6-meter clay layer due to the surcharge of 100 kilonewton per meter square. So you are trying to apply what is called as a surcharge stress, which we are calling it as an increment in stress. Okay, that is being applied on the ground, and due to that applied surcharge stress, we want to calculate how much is the corresponding consolidation settlement that we are going to have in the soil. That's the primary consolidation settlement particularly. And we are given with the compression index value of that particular clay layer, which is nothing but it is 0.35. Okay, so all the data whatever is given is represented for each of the soil layer. So for the sandy soil layer, specific gravity of soil solids is given, the void ratio is also given, and whereas in the case of the clay layer, void ratio is given and saturated unit weight of the soil is given. Okay, and water table is said to be existing at the top of your clay layer. So let's go ahead in understanding how to estimate that so-called settlement due to primary consolidation in your clay layer. So for doing that, what we need to calculate? Now, how do we estimate the settlement? Because your compression index CC value is given. Okay, let me note down whatever the data that is given in the problem. CC is given as 0.35, if I am correct, right? Okay, and the increment in stress, that is delta sigma, which is given as 100 kilonewton per meter square. So delta sigma is known. Now, if I look at the expression for estimating the settlement when your compression index data and increment in stress data is available to us, so we can try to calculate settlement in the soil strata based on this particular expression. Cc into H naught, or Cc into simply H divided by 1 plus E naught into log sigma F dash by sigma I dash to the base 10. Okay, so this is the expression what I can make use of. And what is the data that I know? CC data is CC data is what is given to me in the problem. H naught refers to that of the initial height of your clay layer, or simply I can say it's the height of the clay layer what I am trying to look at, in which primary consolidation is happening. And E naught refers to that of the initial void ratio of the soil sample, or soil in which the primary consolidation is happening. That's nothing but your clay layer. And what is your final effective stress and what is my initial effective stress? Okay, so how do we write down your final effective stress? Final effective stress is nothing but initial effective stress that is getting developed in the soil plus increment in stress. That how much increment in stress is causing that consolidation to be happening in the soil strata. Okay, so if I can calculate what is my initial effective stress, then the rest part of the data is very much straightforward available to me. So if I want to calculate my initial effective stress, now where do I need to calculate that initial effective stress? Should I calculate the initial effective stress, that sigma I dash what I want to calculate? Should I calculate at the top of the clay layer, or should I calculate your sigma I dash at the bottom of the clay layer, or should I calculate your I dash value at which particular position of your clay layer? Because we said increment, we want to calculate how much is the initial effective stress in the clay layer. Now, initial effective stress in the clay layer, if we start talking about, so that initial effective stress at different depths, it is going to be different. Now, at which depth are we looking at? Okay, so generally, whenever you are trying to estimate the settlements, we always take into consideration of your effective stress calculation or your stress calculations, whatever stresses that you are trying to calculate. It could be a total stress or pore water pressure or effective stress. In general, most of the times or most of the literatures, what you will be finding is people try to calculate at the center of your clay layer. I repeat, at the center of your clay layer, we start calculating what is your initial effective stress. Okay. So at the center of the clay layer, you are required to calculate what is your initial effective stress. Sir, at the center of the clay layer, what becomes my initial effective stress? If you want to write down, sometimes if the complete clay strata has got the same properties, I can simply say that your initial effective stress at the center is nothing but initial effective stress at the top plus initial effective stress at the bottom of the clay layer by 2. That's one way. Or other way, I can directly calculate how much is my initial effective stress at the center of the clay layer itself. Now in the process, if I want to calculate what is my initial effective stress directly at the center of the clay layer, so initial effective stress is nothing but your initial total stress minus that so-called initial pore water pressure, or how much is that pore water pressure what is getting developed in your soil sample. Now how do we calculate what is your total stress initially before the application of your 100 kilopascals of increment in stress? If I am trying to calculate what is my total stress, so that total stress what is getting developed in the soil, that's nothing but in your clay strata, if I am trying to look at. So that is going to be only because of your self-weight of the soil. Sir, how about that 100 kilonewton per meter square? 100 kilonewton per meter square is the increment in stress. Because of that increment in surcharge stress, there is an consolidation what is happening in the soil. Okay, so that is a delta sigma. What we are trying to look at, this 100 kilonewton per meter square is nothing but increment in stress, which we call it as delta sigma. Now my objective is to write down how much is my initial effective stress. So earlier itself we understood at whichever depth, if you want to calculate your total stress or pore water pressure or effective stress, we were able to do that. So in the same manner, I'll be just trying to directly write down how much is my initial effective stress at the center of the clay layer. I am not talking at the top and bottom anywhere. So I'll directly go to the center of the clay layer, and at that particular center of the clay layer, okay, so at center of clay layer, I'm trying to talk about how to estimate your initial effective stress. So which is nothing but your initial total stress minus your initial pore water pressure. Now how do I write down the initial total stress? So for calculating the initial total stress, what do I need to know is, I should be knowing unit weight of each of the soil strata what I have there. Sandy soil, what is its unit weight? And you have the water table existing only from the top of your clay layer. In the sense, the sandy soil strata is said to be a dry strata. So automatically the corresponding unit weight, if I am trying to look at, of that sandy soil strata, so which I can write it as GS into gamma W by 1 plus E. 15.17 is the dry unit weight of your sandy soil layer. Okay, so 15.17 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, so once I know the dry unit weight of your sandy soil, and already the saturated unit weight of the clay soil is given, so I can simply go ahead in writing down what is my initial total stress at the center of the clay layer. So once you start writing it, I have 4 meters depth of your sandy soil strata, which has got your density, which is 15.17 into 4 plus, because of the clay strata, because where I am trying to calculate the total stress, it's at the center of the clay layer. So center of the clay layer means total clay layer is of 6 meters. So because of that 3 meters depth, I should calculate how much is your total stress coming into picture. So what is the unit weight of the clay layer? 19.37 into 3. Okay, so this is going to be your total stress at the center of the clay layer initially, minus how much is going to be your pore water pressure at the center of the clay layer. Water table is at the top of your clay strata, so it means that unit weight of water is 9.81, and the corresponding pressure head at the center of the clay layer is nothing but it is 3. So initial effective stress at the center of the clay layer is 89.365 kilopascal, and then if I go on to calculate how much is my settlement in the soil strata, Cc is given as 0.35, height of the clay layer is 6 meters, divided by 1 plus, what was the void ratio or the initial void ratio in your clay layer? Okay, 0.9 into log initial effective stress, what we had is 89.365 plus increment in stress is 100 divided by, what is my initial effective stress is 89.365. So from here, if I just calculate, I'll be getting how much is the settlement that your soil is going to have in it because of that increment in stress of 100 kilopascal, 0.36. So which is nothing but it is 360 mm. Okay, So 360 mm of settlement is what we are going to have in that particular clay strata. Now let's say if the problem has been given with some modification to the discussion. I am repeating, same data. I am asking you to solve with some add-on data to this particular problem. Now what is the add-on data to the problem means? Okay. Solve the same problem with some additional data given. So what is given additionally in the problem is your pre-consolidation pressure is 130 kilopascal. CS value is 1/5 of Cc. This is the data what is given to you in the problem additionally. Now let's say extension to your fifth problem, let's say 5.2. So now if I am required to solve this particular problem, then what should I do? What is given is your maximum past pressure in the soil, or the maximum stress what your soil has experienced in the past is 130 kilopascal. Now what should be my expression that I should be using for estimating the settlement in the soil? So the expression what I should be using for estimating the settlement in the soil, I will understand by looking at what is called as your data like this. My final effective stress is greater than your maximum past pressure or not. I repeat, or let me start putting it in the other way. What is my initial effective stress? Initial effective stress what I am getting is 89.365 kilopascals, which is obviously less than that of your maximum past pressure what your soil has experienced. Am I correct? Next, when a delta sigma increment in stress of 100 kilopascal is added, what is that I am seeing? I am seeing that your final effective stress is coming out to be higher than that of your pre-consolidation pressure or your maximum past pressure. Okay, so in such case, the expression for estimating the settlement in the soil, what will be my expression that I should be using for estimating the settlements in the soil? Cs into H by 1 plus E naught into log initial effective stress, that is okay, but numerator, from which state of stress to which state of stress your portion of your compression curve is in the what we call it as over consolidated state, and from which stress to which stress your soil is in normally consolidated state. Okay, so from initial effective stress till what is called as your maximum past pressure, your soil is going to be in what is called as an over consolidated state, where the slope of that particular curve is Cs plus Cc into H by 1 plus E naught into log. Yeah. Now your normally consolidated zone is getting started from where? Normally consolidated zone is getting started from your pre-consolidation pressure to that of your final effective stress value. What was your final effective stress value? Represented as initial effective stress plus increment in stress. Okay, so this becomes your expression what you can use for solving the same problem. Okay, if nothing is specified with regard to the pre-consolidation pressure, or you are not talking anything about your data given with respect to pre-consolidation pressure, then you can blindly assume that the soil is a normally consolidated soil. But when you are given with a comparison to understand the data relating to that of your pre-consolidation pressure, then you have to be little careful and you have to check whether your initial effective stress and final effective stress data is on to the left of your pre-consolidation pressure or is on to the right on your pre-consolidation pressure. Left in the sense whether it is less than that of pre-consolidation pressure or whether those values are greater than that of your pre-consolidation pressure. If it is less than, both the values are less than pre-consolidation pressure, simply I can use the expression of settlement only with the term containing your Cs. If both the data, initial effective stress and final effective stress data points, are falling on to the higher side of your 130 kilopascal, that is your pre-consolidation pressure, it means that the data corresponds to your normally consolidated state of stress. Then you can calculate the settlement in the soil by considering your term which includes CC. But however, if your initial effective stress is onto one side of your pre-consolidation pressure, in the sense initial effective stress is less than that of your pre-consolidation pressure, and final effective stress is greater than that of your pre-consolidation pressure, it means that you are looking at a compression curve which contains part of your over-consolidated state, part of it what is called as your normally consolidated state. Okay. So in such case, you have to use both the terms for estimating the settlement. One part of the term containing CS, other part of the term containing the slope parameter CC, by which you can estimate the settlement in the soil. Okay. Moving on with another problem. A certain clay layer has a thickness of 5 meters. So it means that my thickness of the clay layer, what I am trying to look at, is 5 meters. After 1 year, when the clay was 50% consolidated, okay, so after 1 year, I am trying to refer to the degree of consolidation, what you are achieving in that particular soil is 50%, because soil is said to be, or soil is said to have consolidated, or soil is said to get, having got consolidated by 50%. So for that amount of 50% consolidation, the settlement what you had in that particular soil is nothing but it is equal to 8 centimeters. So settlement after 1 year in that particular soil is 8 centimeters. Now what is specified is you had two-way drainage in that particular case. So with the two-way drainage, after 1 year, in that 5 meter thickness of clay layer, you have come across with what is called as 50% degree of consolidation, and the corresponding amount of settlement what you have in that particular soil is nothing but it is equal to 8 centimeters. Next, what is asked in the problem? For similar clay, the property of the clay, everything is same, and loading conditions are also same. How much settlement would occur at the end of 1 year and 4 years respectively if the thickness of this new layer were 25 meter? Okay, so now it's not 5 meter thickness of the soil strata that I am looking at, it's the 25 meter thickness of the soil strata is what I am looking at. Now for that 25 meter thickness of the soil strata, at the end of 1 year and at the end of 4 years, I am required to estimate how much is the settlement that my soil of 25 meter thickness is going to have. But it's mentioned that in this second case, you are having what is called as one-way drainage. Okay, so case 1, after 1 year, you have 50% degree of consolidation achieved, where the amount of settlement what you are having is 8 centimeter, and you have what is called as your two-way drainage. Okay. Case 2, same soil properties, same loading condition, but instead of having 5 meter thickness, I have 25 meter thickness of the soil strata. Now for that 25 meters thickness of the soil strata, after 1 year and 4 years, I am required to calculate the settlement that is happening in that soil strata with only one-way drainage existing. Okay, so how do we calculate? This is layer 1, or sorry, I should say soil 1, and this is soil 2. Both properties of the soil 1 and soil 2 are same, but the height of soil 1 is 5 meters, height of soil 2 is 25 meters. Now what we are required to calculate is settlement in this particular soil of 25 meter thickness after 1 year and settlement after 4 years is what is to be calculated. Okay, so with one-way drainage, it's not two-way drainage in that second case. You have only one-way drainage existing in that particular soil. So how do we proceed? How do we solve the problem? Now, if you look at your soil 1 for 50% degree of consolidation, the amount of settlement what you have is 8 centimeter. And if you can recall something what we have discussed about degree of consolidation, how did we define degree of consolidation? Degree of consolidation is nothing but settlement at any point in that particular soil divided by, at any time in that particular soil divided by the final settlement. Okay, so that so-called final settlement is how much in that particular soil 1. In the case of soil 1, how much would be my final settlement that I am going to have? The final settlement that I am going to have in soil 1 is nothing but degree of consolidation what your soil had in it into settlement at any time divided by your degree of consolidation. Okay, so this I am trying to discuss about your soil type 1. Settlement final is equal to settlement that you had in the soil at 1 year. Correspondingly, the degree of consolidation what you had in that particular soil is nothing but it is 50%. Okay, so how much is the settlement that you had in the soil after 1 year? That is 8 centimeter. Degree of consolidation is 50%. So what I can write it as 0.5. So that means your so-called final settlement which you are going to be having in that particular soil 1 is nothing but it is equal to 16 centimeters. Now with same properties, with same soil properties what we had for that particular soil, if I am required to understand the condition of your second soil, then how do I understand the condition of the second soil? Because we are saying the property of soil 1 and soil 2 is same. Which property are we trying to say that it is same for both the soils? When I say the type of soil is same, then it means that it is your coefficient of consolidation what we are trying to talk about is same. Okay, CV for soil 1 and 2 are same. Now, if that is the case, if the coefficient of consolidation in both the soils is same, then how do we write down this coefficient of consolidation? We understand from your time factor expression, time factor is nothing but CV into T by H square. Now, time factor corresponding to how much percentage of degree of consolidation? For 50% degree of consolidation, I am looking at CV into the corresponding time what we are looking at is 1 year time divided by H square, or rather I should write it as HD square. Okay, so how do we write down this HD square? In the case of soil layer 1, I am having what is called as your two-way drainage. Okay, so it said that it is simply two-way drainage. Once we say it is two-way drainage, then the height of the clay layer is 5 meters. So HDR value is nothing but half of your 5 meter thickness clay layer, half square. And this T50 value, how do we get it? We had the relation between your time factor and degree of consolidation. What was that relation? If the degree of consolidation is less than or equal to 60%, what was the expression that we had for estimating the time factor value? 5 by 4 into percentage whole square, right? So your degree of consolidation is in the problem, it is given as 50%. So it means that I can substitute it as 50 by 100, which is otherwise I can also write it as 0.5 simply. T50 is 0.196. So for that T50 is equal to 0.196. If I can try to calculate what is your CV value, can I get my CV value? Time is 1 year. HDR is 5 by 2, that is 2.5. 3.89 into 10 to the power of minus 8 meter square per second. Okay, so this is the CV data what we have. Now let's move ahead in looking at your soil 2. Now regarding the soil 2, what is asked for me to calculate? How much is the settlement that my soil is going to have after 1 year and after 4 years period? These values are to be calculated. Now, if I want to calculate how much is my settlement after 1 year and 4 years in the soil strata, then how do I calculate? But what is asked is with one-way drainage only. So whenever I have that soil which has got a height of 25 meter, so for that thickness of 25 meter clay strata, I want to calculate after 1 year and after 4 years how much is the settlement with one-way drainage existing. So how do we go ahead? We'll understand then by what all possible ways I can try to solve this. Okay, so I'll just start writing that CV I know, time T is something I know, H thickness of the clay layer I know, because HDR value in the case of one-way drainage is nothing but it is equal to the height of the clay layer. So CV is known, time is known, HDR value is known, from which what do I get? The time factor value I'll get. For that corresponding time factor value, how much is the degree of consolidation that you had in that particular soil? Can we try to find out? Yes, we can find out. In case if I can find out that, then what else I can think of? If degree of consolidation is known, what do I get from that? Degree of consolidation, we define it as settlement in the soil at any time divided by the final settlement. Then how we go ahead in solving the problem? Neither settlement at any time is not known to me, and the final settlement, what I am going to have in that 25 meter thick layer is also not known to me. As the soil properties in case 1 and case 2 is same, when a 5 meter thickness soil strata is undergoing some amount of settlement, then automatically 25 meter thickness of the soil strata, if I am looking at how much settlement is it going to have under the same loading conditions, what we are trying to talk about is under the same loading condition. On this 5 meter as well as on the same 25 meter, same intensity of stresses are getting applied, increment in stress basically, what I am referring to. The final settlement what we will have in your 25 meter thick layer will be equal to the final settlement what we had in the case of your 5 meter thickness layer into the height of the soil strata in case 2. So that's nothing but 25 meter, and that height of the soil strata in case 1, that is 5 meter. Okay. So what was our final settlement in the case of your 5 meter thickness soil layer? 16 into 25 by 5. So it means 80 centimeters is going to be my final settlement that I'll come across in your 25 meter thick soil strata. So how do we solve it? TV or your time factor is nothing but CV into T by HD square. So if I just go ahead to calculate what is your time factor TV, or simply I can write it as T. Okay. So your CV value already we have calculated from our earlier discussion, that is 3.89 into 10 to the power of minus 8 meter square per second, if I am correct, into time what we are looking at is 1 year. So 1 year is what I can write it as 365 into 24 into 60 into 60 seconds. This total divided by. Now what is my HDR value? HDR value in this particular case, we know for one-way drainage, HDR is equal to H. So it means your HDR value what we are going to be substituting in the denominator is simply equal to H, that is 25 meter whole square. 1.96 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So with this time factor value, if I want to go ahead in calculating your degree of consolidation, U is equal to 2 into under root T by pi is one expression what we have, which is said to be valid for all U less than or equal to 60%. And what is the other expression? U is equal to 1 minus 8 by pi square into e to the power of minus pi square T by 4. Okay, so this expression is valid for all U greater than 60%. Okay, so substitute your T value into expression 1 and as well as expression 2. Okay, so when you substitute your T value into expression 1, check whether your degree of consolidation, what you are getting is less than or equal to 60% or not. Is it clear? If it is satisfying that first criteria, then automatically it is correct. In case if it is not satisfying, then move on to the second expression, in which you can substitute your t is equal to that so value, whatever you have got, 1 point something into 10 to the power of minus 3. Then put that t value into the second expression and calculate your degree of consolidation. But however, the degree of consolidation what you are going to be getting should be greater than 60%. That is for sure. In 5-meter thickness soil strata, when you are looking at, you are getting what is called as 50% degree of consolidation with a two-way drainage, that too. And here in 25-meter thickness soil strata, it is only one-way drainage. After 1 year, automatically, the amount of consolidation what your soil is going to have with only one-way drainage is obviously less than 50%. That is for sure. So automatically, my first expression is going to be the valid expression, which I can make use of. Second is not essential for us to look in. So with that, in the first expression, if we are substituting the data, what you are going to be getting as your U value? 4.99%. Your U, that's the degree of consolidation, what you are having in your soil after just after 1 year. So the amount of degree of consolidation that happened to be in your soil is only 5%. Okay. So now, what is that I am required to find out? Settlement existing in your soil after 1 year. So how much settlement my soil is going to have in it after 1 year? Degree of consolidation, what you had in your soil after 1 year, into the final settlement, whatever you are going to have in your soil. So how much degree of consolidation? It is 5%. So 5 by 100 into the final settlement is 80 mm. It is 4 centimeters. Okay, this is with regard to 1 year. Next, what is asked? Settlement after 4 years. So what I should do? The same procedure, the same story what I have talked about, I have to repeat from here again. Okay, what change I will have? Instead of t is equal to 1 year, I have to substitute t is equal to 4 years now. Small t, that's the time. Okay, so for time is equal to 4 years, if I go ahead in solving the problem, for t is equal to 4 years, if I calculate your time factor value, which is nothing but CV into t square by HD square. So CV data is known, HD square is nothing but it is equal to the height of the clay layer, that is 25 meters. 7.84 into 10 to the power of minus 3 is your time factor value. For this corresponding time factor value, calculate your degree of consolidation. So degree of consolidation comes out to be 2 into under root t by pi. So where t is equal to 7.84 into 10 to the power of minus 3, if I substitute, I'll get the corresponding degree of consolidation, 10%. So for U is equal to 10%. So if I start writing down how much is my settlement after the 4th year. So this U, what I have is corresponding to 4 years. So how much amount of degree of consolidation you are coming at the end of 4 years means it is 10%. So that settlement happening in that particular soil at the end of 4th year is nothing but U value after 4 years into the final settlement. So final settlement is 80, U value is 10% means 10 by 100 into 80, so which comes out to be equal to 8 centimeters. Okay, so this is how you can solve it. And you can also try to solve it with some other data, like say same problem, everything is same, but in case 2, instead of one-way drainage, if you are given with two-way drainage, and if you are asked to solve the same problem, like at the end of 1 year, at the end of 4 years, how much is going to be the settlement that my soil is going to have in it? So you can still do that and you can try to understand that. Okay. Next, another example, something relevant to that of compaction. The in situ percentage void of a sand deposit is 34%. It means the in situ void ratio of the soil is given as 34%, which I can write it as 0.34. For determining the density index, that's nothing but the relative density, what we are trying to talk about. Density index is otherwise also called as relative density. Okay, so for finding out the relative density, if I am looking at this particular expression, what data I will be requiring? What I'll be requiring is the maximum void ratio that you are going to have in that particular soil. So when do we have the maximum void ratio? In a loosest packing of soil grain arrangement, we'll have the maximum void ratio. And see, E simply refers to that of your void ratio of the soil sample at its natural state, at its field condition or in situ condition. And Emax is the maximum void ratio corresponding to the loosest packing of the soil grains. And E minimum refers to that of your minimum void ratio what you are going to have in the soil. Obviously, that is going to be at densest packing of your soil grain particles. Okay. So with this, are we able to solve to estimate the density index or not? Whether do we have all these data given in the problem or not? First, let us try to understand that. Yeah, what is given is for determining the density index, dried sand from the stratum was first filled loosely in a 1000 centimeter cube volume mold. Okay, so volume of that mold in which the soil particles are being placed for carrying out your or for understanding the so-called density of the soil. So the volume of the mold is 1000 centimeter cube. And was then vibrated to give a maximum density. So you are placing your dry sand in that particular mold of volume 1000 centimeter cube, and you started vibrating that particular mold so that your soil grains placed in that particular mold are going to attain what is called as a maximum density. The loose dry mass of the mold was, in case if the soil grains are placed into that particular mold in a loosest arrangement, the dry mass of that particular sand is nothing but it is 1610 grams, and the dense dry mass at maximum compaction was found to be 1980 grams. Okay, so determine the density index if the specific gravity of the soil, sand particles is 2.67. So we are required to determine the density of your relative density of that particular sand. So for finding out the relative density of the sand, what I have with me for at present is the in situ void ratio is known, the volume of the mold in which the soil grains are placed is known, and the dry mass of the soil in loose state is given as 1610 grams. The dry mass of the soil in dense state is given as 1980 grams. So mass of the dry soil in loose state is known, mass of the dry soil in dense state is known. Then I can go ahead in calculating what is my dry unit weight of the soil in loose state, dry unit weight of the soil in dense state. Okay, so gamma D loose, or instead of writing it as loose, in the loose packing arrangement, what will be the dry unit weight of the soil? We can also even write it as minimum dry density of the soil, because when the particles are in a loosest state, obviously the density what we attain for that particular soil is going to be the minimum density. So my gamma D minimum is nothing but 1610 by volume, that is 1000. So which I can write it as 1.61 gram per centimeter cube is your gamma D minimum. Now likewise, if I go ahead in calculating what is my gamma D maximum, so gamma D maximum is nothing but mass of the dry soil in densest packing, that is 1980 divided by 1000 centimeter cube is the volume of that mold. So 1.98 gram per centimeter cube. Okay. So if I know what is the dry density of the soil, minimum dry density of the soil and maximum dry density of the soil, one way is I can go back to see what is my expression for finding out the void ratio, because from the known dry densities, I am required to calculate your void ratio, which I can write it as GS into gamma W by 1 plus C. So from this expression, I can try to get that. Already gamma D for loose packing is known, gamma D for dense packing is known. So from which, when I say loose packing, obviously the corresponding void ratio what I am getting there after substituting gamma D value and GS is already given in the problem. Okay, so from this I can say the maximum void ratio what I will be getting for your soil is GS into gamma W by gamma D because void ratio is going to be maximum when the dry density is minimum, -1. And likewise, E minimum, if I want to find out, it's nothing but GS into gamma W by gamma D maximum, because the void ratio of the soil is going to be minimum when the packing is going to be in a densest state. That's when you have your dry density, which is said to be maximum. So from this, I can get what is my maximum void ratio, what is my minimum void ratio. Already natural void ratio, in situ void ratio is known. So I can go back to the earlier expression what we have seen to estimate how much is your density index. This is one approach. Other approach is, you already know another expression for finding out your density index or relative density in terms of your density values of that particular soil itself. Okay, so gamma D here it is the in situ dry density of the soil. Gamma D minimum already we have calculated. Gamma D maximum already we have calculated. Now if I want to calculate what is gamma D, gamma D is what I can write from your expression, GS into gamma W by 1 plus E, and the in situ void ratio of the soil is already given in the problem, that is 0.34. So for that in situ void ratio of 0.34, I can get what is the dry density of your soil, dry unit weight of the soil in situ. And accordingly, I can use at least the second expression to solve your problem. So whatever the way you wanted, if you can remember this expression, solve by this. If you remember the first expression, solve by that. It doesn't matter which expression you use, you should get ended up with the same answer. Okay. Please do solve it and check your values. There is another problem. Okay. I'll not be solving this complete problem. I'll just give an idea or a hint to some extent to solve this particular problem. So you are given with what is called as a normally consolidated clay, where this sigma naught dash is nothing but I will be writing it as your initial effective stress in the soil, which is 2 ton per feet square. The initial void ratio what you had in that particular normally consolidated clay is 1.21. My final effective stress what I have in that particular so-called center of the clay layer, because my reference is always with respect to the center of the clay layer. So my final effective stress what I am looking at is nothing but initial effective stress plus increment in stress. Okay, so which is given as 4 ton per feet square, which means that what is my increment in stress that I have at the center of the clay layer? Increment in stress at the center of the clay layer is nothing but your final effective stress minus your initial effective stress, which is 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2 ton per meter square. Okay, I need not calculate this, how much is the increment in stress, but however, at some place it is going to be helpful for us. I'll just tell you where is it going to be. Okay, so when you are applying this final effective stress, that due to that increment in stress applied on the soil sample, what is happening is the void ratio that you are coming across in your soil, the final void ratio is coming out to be 0.96 due to the increment in stress. Finally, whatever compression that took place in the soil sample resulted in corresponding void ratio of the soil sample, which is 0.96. The hydraulic conductivity of the clay for the preceding loading range is given. That's the K value of the soil for that loading range or loading for that stress condition. So the corresponding hydraulic conductivity, the K value of the soil is 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 4 feet per day. Now we are asked to find out how long, it means how much time in number of days will it take for a 9 feet thick clay layer drained on one side in the field to reach what is called as 60% consolidation, and what is the corresponding settlement that your soil is going to have when you are going to see what is called as a degree of consolidation, which is 60%. So two things which you are required to find out. One is your time, how much is it required to reach what is called as 60% consolidation in the soil with one-way drainage, and second question is how much is the settlement that I am going to have in that particular soil corresponding to that time when you are reaching to what is called as 60% degree of consolidation. Okay, so how do we go ahead with? If I want to understand, okay, in that 9 feet thick clay layer, if I want to find out how much is your time required to have 60% consolidation, so then what we need to do? So I'll just look at all that basic expressions which I have from what we have learned. So we know that time factor, because degree of consolidation is 60%, which is already given. So it means U is equal to 60% is what is given. So for U is equal to 60%, I can find out what is the time factor. Okay, I understand. I know how to calculate, so I have calculated. Degree of consolidation, time factor is known for corresponding 60% degree of consolidation. Once the time factor is known, next what do we require? T is equal to CV into T by H square. That's time factor is equal to CV into time T by HD square. Sorry. HD square, do we know? It said one-way drainage in that 9 feet thick clay layer. So HD is nothing but it is 9 feet. So HD square is 9 square. No problem. Time is something unknown. CV is also something unknown, because nowhere I am given with what is called as coefficient of consolidation. But what is given is some data relevant to that of your increment in stress is given. Coefficient of permeability is given. Okay. So with that, is there any possibility for us to find out coefficient of consolidation? Let us try to see. Okay. So when we have seen earlier, we have seen that CV is nothing but K by MV into gamma W. K is already given. Gamma W is a standard value in terms of feet per day or whatever the way units you want to use for gamma W, convert according to that units and substitute the value of gamma W there. No problem. MV, what does this MV? How do we write down this MV? MV is what we write it as, look at here, AV by 1 plus E naught. Now what is AV? Delta E by delta sigma or delta sigma dash more specifically into, divided by 1 plus E naught. Initial void ratio is known. Change in void ratio because of the increment in stress is known. How much is my change in void ratio because of the increment in stress? 1.21 minus 0.96 gives me what is your change in void ratio, which is 0.25. How much is the corresponding change in stress applied on the soil, increment in stress applied on the soil? So it's nothing but 2 ton per feet square. So delta E is known, delta sigma dash is known, E naught is known. So from which please calculate what is your MV value. Once your MV is calculated, okay, please do calculate. Delta E is 1.21 minus 0.96 divided by delta sigma dash is 2 feet per 2 ton per feet square into 1 plus 0.96, 0.063 feet square per ton. So once this particular data is known for MV, then go ahead to calculate what is your CV. CV is nothing but K by MV into gamma W. Okay. So please, gamma W value in terms of ton per feet cube you have to substitute, because other places you have your dimension in feet and weight or mass values in terms of ton. Okay. So accordingly, get your value for gamma W in that standard units. K is already given in terms of feet per day. Okay. So calculate what is your CV. Once your CV is known, then you can go back to your time factor expression. TV is nothing but CV into time by HD square. So from this, what is unknown that I want to find out? Time factor is what I can write by knowing what is the corresponding degree of consolidation. Okay. So the corresponding degree of consolidation is already given. How much degree of consolidation? 60%. So for this 60% degree of consolidation, what is your corresponding time factor value? So if I calculate your time factor value for 60% degree of consolidation, what is your TV value? The same first expression which we can use 0.283 is your time factor, right? So once your time factor is known, then time is nothing but TV into HD square by CV. HD square is nothing but 9 feet square. CV is what we are calculating from the previous expression. TV is what is 0.283. So once we get the time, for this corresponding time, what I am required to calculate? Second question. How much is the settlement that I am going to have in my soil corresponding to that particular time? So if I want to calculate how much is the settlement that I have in my soil corresponding to that particular time, we have different ways or means by which I can try to calculate. Okay. So one of such approaches, U is equal to settlement corresponding to that time by final settlement. Which time are we referring to? Which I am required to be calculating? How much was the corresponding degree of consolidation with respect to that time? It is 60% degree of consolidation. Okay. So if at all I know what is this final settlement that I am going to have in that 9 feet thick clay layer which has got one-way drainage, then I can substitute into the expression to get how much is the settlement that I am going to have in that particular soil after so and so time. Okay. So how do I calculate what is my final settlement that I am going to have in that particular soil? So your final settlement, what you can try to calculate, you have multiple approaches. If you want, you can just see these expressions, which I hope I have already talked about, if I am correct. This is one approach. This is one expression by which you can try to calculate your final settlement in the soil. Or I can also make use of another expression like this, which is delta E by 1 plus E naught into H. Okay. So this is another expression which I can think of because of depending on the data what is available to me, I am just trying to talk about. Okay. So which approach you use, it doesn't matter. Previous expression is going to be more sensible to me because already I have calculated MV. Height of that clay layer is 9 feet. Increment in stress is 2 ton per feet square. So all the data is known. So from which you can get what is your final settlement. So once the final settlement is known, then go back to this previous expression to calculate what is your settlement that you are going to have in that particular soil corresponding to some time where when you have attained what is called as 60% degree of consolidation in that particular soil. Okay. So that's all about some of the problems which I wanted to discuss. So we'll stop our discussion.